Hello, my beautiful friends. I'm so excited to share another episode with you. If you didn't listen to my last episode yet, I highly encourage you to go back to that one first. So the last episode I recorded was all around how I manifested our dream waterfront location. The home is still a work in progress, but it's got the bare bones of what we actually know that we can create, and we can actually make it our own, which we're super excited about. However, I didn't see that at the time, but sometimes the universe gives you what your soul needs and not what you think you actually want. And this house has delivered exactly what my soul needs. It's not so much the house. You can make any house a home with your attention to detail, with putting the love, the family, everything into it. And you can change it, right? Like you can create it. But what is harder to get is the location. And this is a location that has been on my vision board for a very long time. It's been in my heart and soul for a very long time. I've been dreaming about it for a very long time, that we have house, grass, sand, water, and this big, beautiful, expansive sunrise view. And that is exactly what we have. And I walk out there. I'm sitting in my lounge room now, and I walk out, I open up these bifold doors, and I walk out onto this enormous deck that we have. Part of our package, part of our vision was to have a beautiful big kind of deck that could really take the inside out and let it flow, and where we can gather family, gather people. I can sit and create, I can sit and lounge around and have a holiday feel, because Tom and I have traveled so much and we've been to so many beautiful villas and amazing waterfront locations, and my heart and soul is drawn to the water. I always love being by the water, holidaying by the water, creating by the water. And I went, one day I'm going to live by the water. And that was my vision, was house, grass, sand, water, big sunrise view. And we get the most expansive sunrise view because we're on the open broadwater, right? So we can never be built out. It is got, like there's pelicans, there's eagles, there's dolphins that swim past. Like it's just an absolute dream. It is better than I had ever imagined. And because I thought we would end up on a house, on the canal, in a house on the canal, in a big multi-million-dollar house on the canal. And instead we have got this older, like beach shack. It's going to be a beach shack. Like we're still working on it. It's got kind of bricks, like it's just brick at the moment. We've been doing the inside up, and we're yet to go and do the outside. And my dream is to make it all like beautiful white coastal frangipani trees, because they remind me of Bali. I love the fragrance of them. I love walking around with them in my hair. They make me feel good. And so we've still got a bit of a process to go, but my last episode took you through all of that, how it unfolded. And like we have people come over. One of our closest friends, every time he comes over, he goes, he's in Italy every week, and he goes, where's your real house? Like, tell me where your real house is. This just feels like I'm on holidays every time we come here. And I'm like, that's exactly what I wanted to feel. However, sometimes it makes me lazy. I'm not going to lie. Sometimes I'll get home from the studio, get home, be running around, and I just go out to my deck and I sit out there and I take in the peace and quiet, and I go, I just want to have a nap. It feels like I'm on holidays and I just want to nap by the water. But that's the dream, right? Like have somewhere that you actually really love coming home to. Now I struggle finding places to go on holidays. We're looking at a weekend away for our wedding anniversary that my parents got us as a gift. And I'm looking at all these places and I'm like, the view's not even as good as what we've got. So it's made me a little bit spoiled. But it has been a process. It has absolutely been a process. There's been highs, there's been lows, there's been it's taken us a little bit to get here, but we're finally here, and my heart is so happy and full. But what I love doing is teaching you guys. I love sharing with you the ideas, the inspiration, the tools, the principles, the laws that I have learned along the way, that I want to share with you, because it's easy for you to go, okay, like look what she's done. And let me just stop you there. There's a ton of things I haven't attracted yet that I'm still absolutely working on. But what is it, how does that affect me? Like what can I learn out of it? What good is it for me? I always teach from experience, because I think experience is an amazing teacher. But I got to the end of last episode, right? And I thought to myself, there is so much more that I could unpack. There is so much more behind the laws of manifestation, behind my understanding of manifestation over it'd be well over 15 years that I started learning about it, that I really want to take you a little bit deeper in this episode. Then I got another thought, right? And I thought to myself how looking after myself has really helped the manifestation process. And you'll understand why as we go into this episode. But I thought to myself, looking after my physical body, looking after my soul body, getting connected on a spiritual level has really helped me manifest what I want. And so I wanted to teach you around how looking after yourself, how it impacts your life, just not from a physical level, but how you can manifest what you want by looking after yourself. And then I thought, wow, that's like a whole other episode. So it might turn into like a little 3-part series about the last one, how we manifested our dream house. This one going more into the understanding of the energetics behind manifestation and how you can do it yourself. And then the next one about why it's important to look after your earth angel bodies so that you can allow yourself to bring into your life what you want, because that is the truth, you guys. We are always manifesting, and it's about the art of allowing. It's not about controlling. It's about opening yourself up and allowing things to come into your life. So let's get into it. So the first principle I want to teach you is you're always manifesting. Manifesting is not something you go, okay, I'm just going to start manifesting because I want to get this. It's not about getting something. You are manifesting all the time, whether you like it or not, because you are constantly sending out a frequency. You're constantly sending out this vibration. We're vibrational beings. We constantly vibrate, just like a radio station, how you have to tune in your frequency to a radio station. It's the same with us. We have to tune in our frequency to what we want. We have to tune in our frequency to that version of ourselves that has what we want. So it's all about energy. The whole principle behind manifesting is all around the energy, the energetics. People would have heard about the law of attraction. Like you attract what you are, essentially. Like you attract what you want. So you've heard about the law of attraction, but it's more important to understand the law of vibration. You are constantly emitting these signals, these frequencies, and what you want to do is you want to align your frequency with the frequency of your ideal future version self that has what she wants. You want to align your frequency with the energy of what it is that you want to call into your life, that you want to bring into your life. And the number one thing that I really want to encourage you to do is learn, okay? Like my whole podcast is not around teaching you how to manifest. There are podcasts out there like that. There are teachers out there like that. But what I want to do is just give you that little bit of a nudge to go find out more, discover more for yourself, learn more, be a learner. So if I was to take you back like would have been in my early 30s. Yeah, early 30s was when I picked up my first book on energetics. And I don't actually have it here because I just realized I have some boxes still at my mum and dad's, and I must have I'm missing a few books. So some of my books are in mum and dad's, but this one, I'm going to hold some up. So if you're listening, I'll tell you what they are anyway. Ask and It Is Given by Esther Hicks. So Esther Hicks was one of the first energetics teachers or law of attraction teachers that I ever heard of. And her name is Esther Hicks. Her husband has passed now, is Jerry Hicks. And she channels an entity or a consciousness called Abraham, okay? Sounds really trippy, I know, but the principles, the teachings are the best. Honestly, the best law of attraction teachings that I've ever, hands down, ever read. So she channels the wisdom of, think whether Abraham is like God, source, consciousness, higher beings. She channels that wisdom, and she's got books and books and books on how to manifest. This is a brilliant one. Ask and It Is Given. My all-time favorite old school book is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And it's not just rich in money, it's rich in everything, rich in health, rich in wellness, rich in abundance of living the life you want, love, relationships, living in your dream home, like environment, everything. And Think and Grow Rich is all about the power of your thought. This is a brilliant, brilliant book. You're going to see as I kind of hold some of these up, they're old school, right? Very old school. As a Man Thinketh by James Allen. The Magic of Thinking Big, Not Quite As Old by David Schwartz, another great book. The Silver Mind Control Method, another old book by Jose Silva. Wayne Dyer, one of the best teachers on compassion, authenticity, on living your purpose, and all about like your thoughts and what you attract. And he's incredible. So Wayne Dyer is another one I've read for years and years and years. I love this one, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. He talks about how everything comes from your subconscious beliefs. That's by Joseph Murray. Amazing, amazing book. Conversations with God, Neil Donald Walsh. There's another book I love that has really, really helped. Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, Harv Eker. The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. You would have heard about that. And The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace Wattles. And these are all really old school books, okay? So these are books like Think and Grow Rich was written back in like 1937. So I love all the old school original stuff. I've read The Secret, it's fine, didn't love it, it's okay. But take me to some of this old traditional teaching because that's where the wisdom is. Like there's been a lot of modern new age teachers that teach a lot of these principles, like Gabby Bernstein's another one, Super Attractor, if you want to start with something really like, it's good, but a lot light. I like the deep stuff. Like give me the really deep original stuff. I absolutely love the deep original stuff. It's just so much wisdom. So if I can really encourage you, be a reader, learn, listen to podcasts, like, and really take in so much wisdom. There's a lot of great teachers that I love that they are not on podcasts, but you will, oh gosh, I have to think of some of them. Jim Rohn, who I'm thinking of is Tony Robbins' coach, Jim Rohn, and you won't find, he's dead, like he's not on podcast, but you can like Google. So you can Google, what I do is I jump into Abraham Hicks YouTube current or whatever I want to put in, and I listen to a lot of her episodes, and I just listen to them on YouTube while I drive around. Same with Tony Robbins, listen on YouTube. He more modern, I like the older school, so his coach who I learn a lot from, Jim Rohn, I just listen to his audios. Like there's so many amazing teachers out there, and I really encourage you, like it's not something that you're just going to learn really quickly. I learned a lot from Bob Proctor. So Bob Proctor, I bought a course from Bob Proctor's one of the trainers. It cost me like $10,000, and I did this course because I was obsessed with learning and wanting to better myself, and his course was phenomenal. It's all about the energetics, and it's all about breaking down this book, Think and Grow Rich. And so Bob Proctor is another incredible teacher who recently passed as well. So give me the old school stuff. That's when you're going to learn the most substance, but make yourself a reader, make yourself an expert, and just learn, and just know that you're not going to get it 100% right. Okay. Like this is things that we learn from experience and we tweak as we go, because I like to think of growth and evolution over a lifetime, right? Like it's not something that you just get good at. It's something that you constantly improve. You'll see by the results, this is working, this is not working, let's tweak it. What can I do better? What's not happening right? Like what's going on? Experience is our best teacher. Experience is the most profound wisdom that you can actually gain. And so really allowing yourself to go with it, go with the feel, see what's working, see what's not. Start with little things, like manifesting a car park. Like we've all heard that, little things that start using your intuition to guide you along the way when you're going somewhere and you go, I'm pretty sure I know how to get there. What do? We go straight to relying on maps. We go straight to Google Maps and rely on that. Instead, let your intuition, this is how you build up trust in yourself, right? So learning to, experience things, tweak things, and don't beat yourself up if it doesn't work out straight away, okay? Because it's just teaching you how not to do something, right? So the biggest principles around manifestation is literally written on this book. Ask and it is given. Like they are actually the most significant principles is ask, believe, and receive. But if it's that simple, why don't we all have what we want? Because we in our 3D version, in our physical version, get in our way all the time. Your soul is so pure. Your soul has the capacity to really just have whatever it wants, but coming into this life experience, we get in the way. Our subconscious beliefs, our limiting mindset, who we hang around, how we've been brought up, who we're conditioned by, what we get distracted doing to keep us stuck in the matrix, as my son would say, or I sometimes think, is we get so distracted and so conditioned and so programmed that we get in our own way. So, but the basic principles are seriously that easy. Ask, believe, and receive. And if I can take you back to this house, I asked for it. I knew what I wanted in the vision that I had. I believed, hands on my heart, without a doubt, I knew we were going to live on the water someday. I didn't know how, I didn't know when, I didn't know where, but I just knew that we were going to live on the water someday, and I received it. Like, it gets to be that simple. Was it that simple? No. Like, there's work we have to do on the way. There's limiting beliefs we have to do along the way. There's shifts that we have to do. We have to follow the inspiration. We have to take aligned action because we co-create with the universe, right? It's a co-creation between the universe and between ourselves. And if you were to think about asking, let me take you back a page. I wrote this down, okay? This will tell me exactly what I want to say. Ask, receive, believe. So asking is the easiest part. Like, that's a no-brainer. That is so easy. However, it's not always easy, but I'll take you through why. It is given. Just like this book says by Esther Hicks, ask and it is given, right? But the given, the how, that is not your job. That is the job of source, your inner being, the universe. And your job is being conscious of the way that you feel. Your job is feeling your energy. Your job is being aware of the vibration that you're emitting. That is where you play a part. So you can ask. The universe will conspire to make it happen for you. You've got to believe in that. You've got to trust in that. You've got to do some process along the way, which I'll go into. But your job, the how, is not your job. The letting go of control, the trusting, the surrender into a divine plan, that is your job. You surrender it over to the universe. Your job is to really be conscious of how you feel and what your vibration is in the moment to moment. So let me take you through. I'm going to break down those principles, okay? I have got some notes here today because if I don't have notes, I could totally go off track because this is something I could honestly talk about for such a long time. I want you to start right now with believing that you can have what you want, that you can have absolutely anything that your heart and soul desires, that I have the belief that I always get what I want. I always get what I expect, but I also open myself up to what if things turn out better than I expected, okay? So having the faith right up that you are a powerful creator, that you can live a life of your heart and soul's desires, that you can actually have what you want, that's a hard thing to do, okay? It sounds really easy, but having that faith and belief in ourselves is hard because of the way we brought up, the way we've been conditioned, the way we've been programmed, the people that we hang around. All of those things kind of infiltrate into our minds and shape us and form our beliefs and form our opinions. So I want to get really clear on one thing at the beginning. Get back to you, get back to your goals, get back to your desires, get back to your authenticity. And something I wrote down here is learn that. Are your desires coming from ego or are they coming from soul? And what that means is, are your desires coming from a need to please other people? Are they coming from a need to fit in? Are they coming from a need to compare and compete and keep up? Are they coming from a need of pressure? Are they coming from a need of I have to do this? Are they coming from a need of this is what is expected of me? I need this for status. I need this to feel important and have power. Or are your desires coming from a need like this is just what my heart and soul wants, right? This is what, I don't have to prove anything. This is what makes me feel good. This is what I want. I'm not listening to other people's opinions. I'm tuning into what I want. So like, for instance, I had, Riley, someone said to Riley, I thought you lived on the waterfront. When they saw a picture of our house, she's like, yeah, we do. To other people, our house might not look that amazing. We're working on it, right? It's gonna take a little bit of time, but we're working on it. But if you were to kind of look at this house on realestate.com, because that's what this person did, just looking at it on realestate.com, you'd be like, oh, that's a bit ordinary. So you have to let go of what people think, let go of other people's opinions, because do you know what? the moment people actually come here and they walk out our back door, they go, holy fucking shit, I had no idea this existed. Like, this is next level amazing, but you can't judge it on what you see on a photo. You got to be here to experience. You got to walk out and feel the peacefulness. And my heart and soul, my husband's heart and soul, because he doesn't have a bit of ego in him, he's very humble, feels just so at peace here and just loves everything about it. So letting go of what people think, because people think, like, to go to a waterfront living, you got to move into this big, big, beautiful home, or it has to be, everything has to be perfect. It has to be, tick all these boxes, have so many bedrooms, so many media rooms, living rooms, all the things, all the stuff. We had a lot of that in the suburbs, but now coming out here, I've realized that my heart and soul is actually happier with less. We have a smaller house, but it's cozier, and we're making it our own because we've come to realize we don't need to fit into society's expectations and society's standards. So I want you to get really crystal clear in the beginning, right? Are your desires in alignment with your heart and soul and what you actually want to feel fulfilled, to feel loved, to feel happy, to feel joy, to feel peace, to feel purposeful? Or are your desires coming because that's what you feel that you need to do to present a certain way or to keep up with other people? The moment you let that go, your whole life becomes easier. I'm telling you that. Let go right now of what other people think and tune into you and what's right for you and your family, because that is the most important thing, okay? So the first step is believing that you always get what you want. And this is the work that most people will never do, because what most people do, and I'm making very blanket statements here, okay? This might not be you. I may trigger you. It may spark something in you. It might not be you. It doesn't matter. But what most people do is complain about why life's hard and why they haven't got what they want, right? And they stay stuck in that funk, in that energy of lack. So what does the universe give them? More energy of lack and more life experiences to represent that fundamental internal belief around lack and around not having enough. And why does things work out for other people and not me? Why do they get what they want and not me? And they sit in this victim mindset. So I want you to know right at the beginning that no more victim mindset, no more worrying about what other people are doing. I want you to really understand that you have to do the work on yourself. All these books, these are just a fraction of the books that I have read. The amount of money I've invested in courses, in conferences, in weekend seminars, in online courses, in learning all things energetics, manifestation, money, like just so much that I've invested in. That's work, right? Like, that takes work, that takes time, that takes effort. Most people come home and sit on the couch and watch TV every night and then wonder why their life's not changing. As blunt as that sounds, that's the honest to God truth. So you have to do the work, right? So I'm going to talk to you along the way about some of the work that we have to do, because it's a co-creation in the universe, right? You can't just think what you want and it comes to you straight away. Part of you can, like, honestly, part of you can. But there are little steps along the way to get there, okay? Just like this house that we got, we used to go down to the boat ramp not far from here, put our jet skis in, and we would go out and explore out through Jumping Pit, out through the beautiful waterways. I love it. But we never actually we looked at the water into our house, right? We never actually stood here from the perspective of living here and looking out. So I knew this place existed. I grew up on cane fields, not 10 acres, not far from here. I'd kind of grown up around the area. I knew this existed, but I never actually stood from this perspective and looked out into the actual waterfront, right? So I knew that my vision, house, grass, sand, water, expansive sunrise view. But let me share with you one thing. There are only, I can't remember how many, between 22 to 24 houses along this section that are on big blocks, 1,000-meter square blocks, uninterrupted views out to the Broadwater, absolute peace. There's only about 22 to 24, right? And I've since found out that you only come across one of these houses. I've had free people that have said to me, how did you land a place on that street? I've been looking for years. Or I've heard stories from people along here who have eventually got a place, said, like, we door knocked, we letterbox dropped, we tried, and we had to really, it was so hard to get something along here. Literally not long after moving in, we got letters in our mailbox saying, do you want to sell? We're like, fuck fuck no, we just got here. We're not absolutely never selling. And so what I found was it is a very, very limited exclusive bit of land where we are 22, 24 blocks, okay? It literally landed in my lap. I was not even trying. And I don't even like to tell too many people that story because I feel like I'm rubbing it in. But I'm seriously like, we weren't trying. I wasn't even looking. The house found me. I swear to God, it found me. And if you go back to the last episode, you will see how everything unfolded. But that is how easy it does get to be, right? Ask, believe, and receive. I knew what I wanted. I had clarity around what I wanted. I believed without a doubt, a hand on my heart. I said to Tom, he said the same thing. We'll be living on the waterfront one day. We just knew that we were going to go there. We didn't know how long it was going to take. We did not know how it was going to happen. We didn't know when. We didn't know where, how much. We knew no details, right? But we just had a vision of what we wanted and we received it without even trying. It literally fell into my lap. And so that's how easy it gets to become. However, what I'm going to take you through is all the little bits of mind work and subconscious limiting beliefs that I've been reprogramming and shifting along the way, the work I do on myself. This is what I want to encourage you to do, okay? It can be that easy, but yes, there is work and effort involved because it's a co-creation with the universe, right? So I asked, I believed, and I received. The universe delivered it to me. So it did its part and I did my part, and we brought it together to now be living the reality of what I wanted. So I hope that makes sense. So the first step is ask, right? You have a desire in your heart. You decide, like you make a decision. This is what I want. You ask and it is given every single time, but the how is not your job. The job is the job of your source, of your inner being. Your job is to get out of your own way. Your job is to feel all the feels, because asking is one thing. And honestly, asking is something that people get a little bit tripped up with. Some people don't actually know what they want. And look, I'm going through that at the moment with another area in my life, like getting clarity around my business. I've got so many ideas running through my head, and I literally sat with it the other day because I felt stuck. Like, I'll be honest with you, there are things that come effortlessly for me. There are things that I struggle with, like everybody else. It's about having that human experience and it's about learning. And I thought to myself, man, I'm just so stuck, like with something in my life, like with attracting, with bringing in more cash flow, with having the vision of what I want my business to look like, because I have so many ideas that I can feel like a deer in headlights. And I thought about it the other day and I went, hang on a sec. My house, I knew what I wanted. House, grass, sand, water, expansive sunrise view. I journaled on it. I felt it. I really visualized it. I imagined it. I'm not doing that. I don't have that clarity with what I want my business to look like because I've got so many ideas floating around in my head. So I thought to myself the other day, how the fuck can the universe give it to me if I don't even know what I want, right? So you have to get clarity on what you want. And sometimes it can come from the contrast. People might go, I don't actually know what I want. It can come through the contrast of knowing what you don't want. So when things come up that like are yucky, like when things come up that you actually don't want that, good. What's the opposite? Like that is showing you the contrast where people go, oh, to manifest things have to be perfect all the time. No, like you're going to have situations where you go, that doesn't feel good. That's not what I want. It's a life experience of showing you actually, what do you want? What's the opposite of that? So be appreciative and grateful of those moments because they are showing you what you actually do want. Visualize what you want, write it down, write crystal clear intentions, get specific, write the details down. Just like in a few episodes ago, I talk about my car, right? I had the specifics of what I wanted to have. Like in my car, I wanted to have the heated seats, the heated steering wheel. I wanted to have this nice white, like light interior. I wanted the sunroof to let the light stream in. I wanted the black rims, like the really black rims, the really black windows. I wanted a white car because I wanted it to feel nice and white. I had the Range Rover symbol, like, it's not about having a Range Rover. I don't give a shit about that. It's the look and the feel of the car that I liked. I like the sexy little Evoque. I like the feel of it. I put it on my vision board. I got specific. So get specific with the details. And then I found the car I wanted and it came, but I had to get clear. It came out of a bit of a situation. If you go back and listen to that a few episodes ago, I was in a bit of a funk when it came around. So I had to pivot the situation I was in. But get clear on what you want. Have a vision board, plaster all over it, the vision board. Like I didn't have exactly what I wanted in the house, but I had elements of how I want to feel, right? I had like the coastal walls. I had like the white lounge. I had timber floors. I had a light, airy feeling in it. all over my vision board. I've still got things like with the renovation process that we're doing, I have got things all over my vision board of what I want to have. Yeah, I want to put a spa out there. I want the deck to flow into a spa. We want to create a beautiful fire pit area. We want it all coastal white. So I've snapshotted screen, like pictures of that. And I've stuck it all over my vision board that I look at every single day. Okay. So get clear on what you want, journal what you want, repetition. I used to write all the time what I wanted. I would write about this house and I want to wake up and I would feel into it. I want to walk out. I want to open the bifold doors. I want to walk out. I want to see the sun coming up. I want to hear the birds. I want to see the beautiful, like the rays of the sun ricocheting like diamonds on the water. I want to feel like the sun streaming into my skin, and I would think and I would imagine like I already had it. So feeling like you're already living it. I've done that before when we got a trip to South Africa. It's in another episode. If I keep sharing things, I'll be here forever. But it's in another episode. We wanted to take the kids to the Palace of the Lost City in South Africa. We wanted to take them on a safari. We wanted to do all these things. I would visualize. I was sitting in the African savannah watching the sunset over the water. I lived it, right? So it comes back to feeling it. And that holiday manifested. I held the vision. I didn't know how, I didn't know when. It come through like a free aircon supplier trip. I kid you not. Like, I can't make this shit up. Like, it just literally landed in our lap. But I would journal about it for ages. Tom, we're going to take the kids there one day. I can't wait to see the look on their face when Brock sees a cheetah for the first time. I can't wait to see like a lion out in the actual jungle. I can't wait to see what it's like first thing in the morning, those beautiful colors on the sunset. Journal it. I would vision it, and I would drive around with this beautiful like music. I hate the radio, it annoys the shit out of me, and I would hear music, listen to music, and I would visualize. As I was driving, I would visualize what I want and feeling it. So this is the key, right? Is feeling the energy behind what you want. Repetition, the power of repetition, writing it down, affirming it. But affirmations are no good if you don't feel it or you don't believe it, right? So it comes with belief, but writing it down, feeling it, dreaming it, visioning it, all the time, sitting in that energy of gratitude for what you have now. Grateful. I used to sit there and go, I'm so grateful with my home. I'm so grateful with my car that I already had before the next level home and car come along, right? So sitting in the energy of gratitude for what you want. Gratitude is one of the most powerful energies that you can embody, because it is all about feeling, and it puts you in this energetic vibrational state of feeling good. Abraham Hicks, she has in her books, right, she talks about this vibrational scale, the highest frequency being love, the lowest frequency is getting down to like despair, like resentment, like kind of moving your way up to neutral. You've got this whole scale, I won't go into it now, but this whole scale of frequencies of energy, and the goal is to move yourself up the vibrational scale. Gratitude, love, light is all at the top of that scale. So when you're sitting in gratitude, when you're feeling love, when you're sitting out in nature, feeling so blissful and peaceful in nature, that is like the highest frequency that you can emit, that you can send out to the universe. So it's putting you in the feel good state, because the feel good state is where you open yourself up to receive. So that's why it's important to feel the vision, not just write it, not just write affirmations, actually feel like you're living it now before you live it. That's why I spoke about in the last episode, go walk through the home, go test drive the car, get a feel. If you're not sure how it's going to feel, put yourself in a situation where you're actually going to feel it, because it makes it more real, because the mind can't tell the difference between what's real and what's imagined. So you're planting constantly into your subconscious mind these beliefs, these feelings like you are already living it, and then it just attracts it to you. If you go to the science behind it, it's like that reticular activating system. You know, when you make up your mind, like I knew when I wanted a white Range Rover Sports or a white Range Rover Evoque, back to when I wanted my black Jeep Grand Cherokee. I thought about it, I would see them everywhere, right? Because all of a sudden you send a signal out, that's important to me, and it starts bringing it into your awareness. So you start observing it, you start noticing it. So that's why it's really important to have clarity and have the feels as what you want, because it all comes back to emotion, which you'll understand as I dive into a little bit deeper. But your job is to be consciously aware of how you feel. When we were thinking about this home, right? And I spoke to you about the process of how it was actually a bit of a journey to when we were waiting to get the contract on the house, and I was sitting in that little bit of a fear, and I had to bring it back to no, I felt how I felt and went, no, I need to pivot it. What do I want to vision? I would vision what it was like driving our jet skis straight off our jetty. I would vision what it was like to have Brock and his friends and all the teenagers walking up the jetty, laughing, having fun, all out there having fun together. I'd visualize family coming over, sitting on the deck on a Sunday afternoon. I'd visualize us out by the fire. I would visualize me waking up to the sunrise, because mind doesn't know, right? Real or imagined. So feel into what you want, and knowing that that is the first step, right? Asking and feeling into it. It's all about the emotion, right? Feeling into what you want, like it is already yours right now, like you're already living it, okay? The next part of the process is believe. Ask, believe, and receive. Before you receive it, you got to believe it, right? Like I said, I knew without a doubt that that we would live here. Not here specific, I knew we would live on the water, okay? Without a doubt in my heart. My lifetime, I'm gonna live on the waterfront, and it's gonna be beautiful, it's gonna be epic, and I'm gonna see the sunrise, okay? So that's what you have to have, is just this unwavering faith that it is already yours. This unwavering faith that you are worthy, that you are powerful, that you can attract it, that it will be yours. Having that mentality of I always get what I want, having that mentality of things happen for me. Having that expectancy is a very, very powerful part of the manifestation process, because like I said, if we all did these things, ask, receive, ask, believe, receive, we'd all have what we want, but we don't, right? Like I said, there's still things I'm working on. And so knowing that, okay, if I'm not living the reality of what I want now, there's a block. If you look at where you're living right now, it is a compilation of your past beliefs, your past thoughts compounding to where you are sitting right now. Your future is going to be a compounding effect of your current thoughts, beliefs, day to day, what you're worthy of, what you can have, whether you're sitting in that lack or whether you're sitting in abundance. What you do right now is what is important, okay? So getting back to, that's why I highly recommend this book, The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, because it teaches you in the moment of now. This is where your creation, this is where your manifesting power lies, is right in the now, okay? So get into the now. What can I do right now? I have to believe. I have to believe in myself. I have to believe in what I want. I have to sit in gratitude. I have to raise the energy of my vibrational frequency. If you sit in the past, which can often lead to that feeling of depression, feeling of poor me, feeling of victim mindset. If you're stressed and constantly worried about the future, it takes you out of the now, can lead to anxiety, right? What can I do right now? So get back to the now. What can I do? What can I do to work on myself? How can I raise my energetic beliefs? How can I raise my vibration? How can I get into that state of feeling good? Because most people's beliefs make them believe that they're not worthy of their desires. They sit in the lack mindset. They sit in the victim mindset. They sit in this feeling of everything happens for other people, but not me. They are always rich, but not me. Why can't I have what I want? Other people get the promotion after me. Why can't I get the dream relationship? I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy. I don't look good enough. I'm not pretty enough. And these constant subconscious beliefs that I can't remember the number. It's something like, I don't know how many thousands of thoughts that we have a day. You need to start being aware of your thoughts, because if your thoughts are constantly in the thought process of lack, of negativity, it's lowering, okay? It's bringing down that vibrational frequency. If you're hanging around people that bring you down, if you're hanging around people that are negative, that are toxic, you are going to calibrate to their frequency, okay? You are going to start, drawing in their subconscious beliefs. If you live with someone who's really negative, and that definitely happens. You start taking on people around you's beliefs. So that's okay. Sometimes we love our partners, we love the people around us, but they can be a little bit negative. You can't control that. All you can control is you. So you go, how can I raise my frequency? How can I raise my level of belief? How can I raise my expectancy? Because guess what? It starts to rub off on other people. When you raise your vibration, two things happen. It can rub off on other people, or sometimes, people can fall away from your life, because sometimes people who are at a complete different vibrational frequency get intimidated by you, feel uncomfortable around you, don't like being around you, and it can lead to people walking away from you. It can lead to relationship breakdowns. It can lead to people shifting in your life. Remember, reason, season, or lifetime, okay? I'm not going to go into all of that right now, but what my point is, you are only responsible for you. So don't blame, don't sit in the victim mindset. How can I get my thoughts and my vibration to a higher frequency so I can align with what I want, okay? Not listening to other people's beliefs and their frequency. I am not going to lower myself to calibrate to other people's beliefs. I am going to set my own benchmark, okay? So that's what I want you to do. Surround yourself with positive people that allow you to grow. Be the positive person that allow other people to grow. Have expectancy. Like, I had this unwavering faith that we are going to live on the water. Have that inner expectancy that you are worthy enough, that you can have what you want. And that might come with shifting some dominant beliefs. But the first part of that is being aware of your thoughts, being aware of your beliefs. When you catch yourself thinking something that is not in a high vibrational state, or that is negative, or that is, being hard on yourself, catch yourself. Pivot those thoughts, okay? So you might need to do some really deep work. If you've got years of trauma, if you've got years of conditioning since childhood, since teen years, or what you're sitting in right now, you might have to go and seek out a little bit of help to how I can shift my belief system, okay? It could be through energy healing, psychologists, kinesiologists, coming to yoga, doing meditation, doing online courses, which I'm about to launch. I'm working on that, getting an online course together for you guys to really help all things earthy angels, right? But being around people, belief systems, environments that are going to help you to shift your subconscious beliefs. One of the best books is this one, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. It will show you how important your subconscious mind is, because no matter how hard you try, there are beliefs that are imprinted inside you that are going to take some real rewiring, some real programming. And that is the work, my friends. Like I said, if it's so easy to have what we want, to ask, believe, receive, why don't we have it? Because you've got to shift. You've got to work on yourself. You've got to recognize, have awareness of what blocks are coming up. Where's my negativity? What thoughts am I feeling and vibrating at? How am I feeling a lot of the time? And you've got to work on raising that up so that your vibration is in alignment with what you want and the person you want to become, okay? So that can get back to like little things that I talk to you about right throughout my podcast, like working on journaling, saging away what you don't want, catching yourself when you have the thought. Esther Hicks talks about this, like, I think it's 17 to 68 second rule. When you have a thought, you might not even be aware of it. And that thought over from 17 to 68 seconds is kind of like that vibrational frequency threshold, right? That time limit, where it's like a thought will roll into another negative one, another negative one, another negative one. It's like this snowball effect where it catches more momentum and keeps spiraling out of control. You want to try and catch it before the 17 second. So it's like when you have a thought, you might see someone and go, oh God, they've got a new car, or that's happened for them. Why don't things happen for me? Why did that person always have things happen to them? Why don't I have as much money? And then your thoughts just keep spiraling about how bad you are, how much you suck, what you don't have. And then they just keep getting out of control. You catch yourself right at the beginning and then you go, hang on, I need to pivot it. So we're not going to think perfect thoughts all the time. We're not going to be this perfect being that has perfect thoughts and it's all sunshine, roses, rainbows, and unicorns, right? Catch yourself and then go, okay, hang on a sec. I need to pivot that. And the best way to pivot it is getting into a state of feeling good, getting into a state of gratitude. What am I grateful for? Hang on, I have so much to be grateful for. And look and find 5 things, 10 things. Sit in the energy of what you're grateful for. Sit in experiences of what you've had in the past that you're so grateful that happened to you. The energy of love, the energy of appreciation, the energy of how, things that have happened to you, things that you've been successful. Look what you have done. Let those thoughts spiral for 17 to 68 seconds. Let those thoughts, because that's going to attract more and more thoughts. That is going to change your vibration in the moment. And that is what is going to help you pivot, okay? So you're not going to think perfect thoughts all the time. You're not going to sit in this perfect bubble all the time. Life happens. Crappy things happen. Like, we have loss. We have trauma. We have heartache. We have unfortunate things that happen that are out of our control. We have suffering, we have things in life. Sometimes you need to sit in that emotion, feel all the feels, but there will come a time where I just like to remember that saying, this too shall pass. When you're sitting in the bad things, this too shall pass. When you're sitting in the good things, this too shall pass. Our life is a constant roller coaster of emotions. Allow yourself to feel the emotions of what you need, but then get yourself out of it. Get yourself back to feeling good. So what makes you feel good, okay? Which is going to bring me into the next state of receiving. You have to open yourself up to receive, okay? So your job is to be in the receptive mode. Your job is to feel good. So what makes me feel good? For me, moving my body makes me feel good. Being with my family makes me feel good. Getting out in nature makes me feel good. Listening to podcasts makes me feel good. Getting out on my jet ski makes me feel good. Spending time by the fire with my loved ones makes me feel good. Being in class with you guys makes me feel good. So what can you do to get you into that state of feeling good? Sometimes I'll be driving in my car and you just kind of sit in a bit of a funk, or your mind's going to negative thoughts, or I will have a podcast on. I love listening to podcasts, and then I just feel so overwhelmed. I go, I need to turn that podcast off. I just want to dance. And I will just turn on some music and just some like old school retreat island vibes or something that just make me dance because it makes me feel good. It shifts, okay? So finding something in the moment to shift your energy, to shift your vibration. It could be a simple thing, you know, like if you're at home, drink out of a nicer glass, like do things, put on some nicer clothes that make you feel good. Do your hair, do something that makes you feel good, because that is going to raise your vibration. And this is why I want to dive into next week's episode, which will be about why I take care of myself, why it's so important that you look after your body, mind, and soul, because it helps you get what you want. And you don't do it to get what you want. It puts you in that allowing, receptive state to open you up to receive what you want, okay? So sitting in that feminine energy of softness, sitting in that feminine energy of flow, sitting in that feminine energy of receiving. Remember, manifesting is about the art of allowing, getting out of your own way, reprogramming your beliefs, putting you in the flow state so that things can come into your life. Your job is to allow it in. Your job is to be in the receptive mode. Your job is to do things that feel good and be as much as you can in the state of joy, because your heart and soul, God, source, universe, whatever you want to call it, wants you to feel good. You were brought into this world to have a human experience. Yes, we're here to learn life lessons. Yes, there's suffering involved. Yes, there are things that we need to learn here. But as much as you can, get into that state of constantly feeling good and watch how your life turns around, okay? It will make such a big difference, because you can't assert, okay? You attract the energy of who you are being. So if you're in a better feeling state majority of the time, you are going to attract more of what you are being, okay? If you feel abundant, you'll attract more abundance. If you feel grateful, the universe will give you more things to be grateful for. So getting in that state of feeling good, feeling in that joyful state opens you up to receive. A few other things to open yourself up to receive, okay? Be mindful of how you speak. Be mindful of the words that you use. Be mindful of being so controlling. Be mindful of being like such a perfectionist that everything has to work out the way you dictated it. Remember, you have to let go of the how. You have to let go of the timeline. I read something in here. I wrote it down because it was really good. Now I'm not going to be able to find it, but I'll just remember it anyway. Your soul doesn't have a timeline. It's something along those lines. Your soul does not have a timeline. Your soul, it's a human construct, that element of time, okay? So your soul is here to evolve, to grow, to learn. And so it doesn't have, that's why I'm a bit funny with like dates on goals, because what happens if it can unfold faster than what you put a deadline on, a timeline on, right? What happens if it could unfold better than you imagine? What happens if it could be faster, but you block yourself by putting all these conditions, these dates, these restrictions on it, when it could actually unfold faster for you? It could actually come when you didn't expect it. But if you're so controlling, you take away the element of flow, okay? So you've got to try and just let go and be a little bit more flowy. I'm the opposite. I'm very flowy. I need to bring in a little bit more masculine to get some stuff done. You need both, right? You absolutely need to be both, but most of the time sit in that energy of receiving. Let go of attachment to things, let go of the predictability, let go of the how, let go and come from a place of trust, okay? Come from that place of surrender. Trust in the divine plan that is open up for you. Trust the universe has better things in store for you. Trust and surrender. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. Like I said to you in that last episode around the house, if it's meant to be ours, it will be ours. I have to let go of control. I have to let go of how it's all going to work out. And my job is to trust. I have to get in my best feeling state. And that was not easy. There were negative thoughts that would come in. Thoughts would come in. The fear would come in, right? Like far out. What if we lose it? What if somebody else gets it at an open home? Like all the fear. And I go, no, 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 no. I have to trust. I have to trust that if it's right for us, the universe will deliver it. If not, something better is coming along. That's a hard thing to do, okay? But getting out of that element of control and getting back to the trust and the surrender that if it's meant to be, it will be. Surrender to the divine plan. Surrender that your soul knows what's best for you. Surrender to the fact that things are happening for you, not to you. If I go back right to the beginning of my podcast when I spoke about my hair was falling out and I had to get my breast implants out. Well, I chose to get my breast implants out. That was a whole process of learning to trust. I just went along with the signs, went along with what was coming up, and my gut kept telling me, get them out. They're not good for you. Like, just get rid of them. And I had to act on that and I had to listen to that. That was the hardest thing I did. But it felt awful at the time, but I look back and I go now, thank God, like that taught me the biggest lesson in learning to live from my ego to learning to live from my soul, okay? So sometimes things aren't happening to you. They're happening for you for your highest good. Get out of your own way, asking yourself, what's the struggle teaching me? Sometimes in the thick of things, it's hard to know what the lesson is, but if you look back, like in hindsight, you will see. So learning from things along the way, course correcting. If something's happening, if a block keeps coming up, maybe it's not that it's happening to you. Maybe it's course correcting you to more better people, better opportunities, a better way than what you control or you think about in your head. It's like when I met my friend Kira on the boat. And I've got a reason I want to tell you this is to get into following the breadcrumbs, following the signs, following the intuitive knowing, following those little hunches. I had a goal at the beginning of that year. I wanted a spiritual coach and I wanted to learn more about myself spiritually before my explant journey, before my hair loss had just started. And I thought, I really want to open myself up to return to my authenticity, to learn all things woo and spiritual, right? I need to flip my business coach and get a spiritual coach. Lo and behold, go up to Ellie Beach, up to Hamilton Island with my sister and our family. We get on a boat to go out to snorkel the Great Barrier Reef. On my way home, I get a hunch. There's this lady sitting across from me. My hunch says, talk to that woman. I'm sitting here reading another of Napoleon Hill's books called Outwitting the Devil. Loving this book, right? Sitting back, reading it, like absorbing it. A hunch says, talk to that woman. My voice in my head tells me that. My voice in my heart tells me that. My head goes, I don't want to talk to anybody right now. I want to sit in peace. The voice gets louder in my heart. Talk to that woman. I'm like, no. Talk to that woman. I'm like, no. And then all of a sudden I'm like, hi, how are you going? I strike up a conversation. I get talking to her and then we become like the best of friends. We're running retreats together. She's been a coach to me. She's taught me so much. I've taught her so much. We have this beautiful mutual friendship. It all come from that little intuitive hunch in my heart. Talk to that woman. So I had to take the aligned action, right? I had to act on that. So that's your job. You will get signs along the way. You will get synchronicities will come to you. You will get opportunities. You have to take the action, just like the action that I spoke about of finding this house was a little voice in my head said, look up where my client lives when I saw her view. Go and look up her address. I could have ignored it as a stupid, oh, I don't have time for that, whatever. But I go, no, if things come up for a reason, I learn now to listen to that and I trust. So that's when I looked up the address. One thing led to another. You'll hear in the last episode, and that's how we got this house, right? And it come from that one little breadcrumb that I could have chosen to ignore or follow. So trust in yourself, trust in the synchronicities. I had one of my beautiful clients message me, voice message me, tell me how she was listening to my podcast. She loves my podcast. And she said, I remember you saying to listen to the inner voice, some of the like crazy stuff that you've done just to get, that's lined up for an opportunity. And she said, I was in the bathroom in my gym, and she's a personal trainer just starting her business. And she said, something said to me, I saw a woman walk in and I knew that I had to talk to that woman. I'd spoke to her previously and I knew I had to talk to her. She said, I'm walking out the bathroom and something said, talk to that woman. She goes, what would Lisa do? Lisa would find a dumb, crazy idea to go back in there and talk to that woman. So she went back in and she washed her hands and just washed her hands like however many times she had to until the woman come out, struck up a conversation, and she turned out to be like her first paying client. So that was that little gut feeling. She could have ignored it, went, oh my God, that's embarrassing, that's stupid, I can't do that. But no, she had the courage to act on it. So have the courage to act on your hunches. Have the courage to act on the signs that you see. Signs will come into your life all the time. You can follow them, you can learn to trust in them, you can learn to get stronger with your signs, or you can go, they're stupid, that doesn't work for me, it works for other people but not for me. So guess what? It won't work for you, okay? You have to have the belief by just starting being curious. Open yourself up to signs and go, what's the meaning in that? Ask yourself. Your soul will tell you. Learning to trust in yourself and building that muscle of trust and belief and surrender that the universe has a plan for you and that you don't know everything. Your soul knows more than you do is like some of the biggest advice that I can give you. If it's meant to be, it will be. Trust and surrender. And how do I know if I'm coming from ego or authentic alignment? I will tell you. If you're coming from ego feels like this feeling of, it feels rushed, it feels stressed, it feels pressure, it feels like I want to be seen, I want to be heard, I want to be praised, I want to have status, I feel exhausted, I feel I need validation. Versus soul alignment comes from authentic alignment, comes from that feeling of surrender, comes from that feeling of flow, comes from that feeling of you've actually got nothing to prove, comes from that feeling of trust in the divine plan. It's peaceful, it's calm, it's not competitive. You are not going to miss out because you have the belief that there is more than enough to go around for everybody. There's plenty for me, I'm not going to miss out. You just go, oh well, if it's not this, then something better's coming along. And I know it's hard to do sometimes, but getting into that feeling of trust and surrender and flow is how you're going to know that you're in more of an aligned state. So I've left you with a lot of information. I want to tell you a crazy story. Okay. This sounds really wild. You're not going to believe it. My dad, my parents have won lotto twice, right? First div lotto twice. No bullshit, like twice. And once when I was a teenager, and I'm not talking like, like multi-millions of dollars, like it just happened to be one of those jackpots that freaking amazing amount of money, but also where other people were, like when a few people win first div, but he's won first division twice, right? Back when we were teenagers, and there's a purpose I'm going to tell you this, okay? So he played golf with his friends. There was 4 of them, 2 pairs, and the losing pair had to buy the lotto ticket, okay? And so this went on for a long time. They just did it for fun. They ended up winning first div lotto. Like back then I was still living at home. So I was a teenager. They might have won like $500,000 or something, which was still a lot of money. They ended up just getting, I don't know, it was close to like 400,000 or 500,000. They got like 100,000 each or something out of the 4 of them. But they did that for fun and they attracted it. Second time, not so long ago, it was all over the community forum. People like, somebody's won first div lotto here. We can't find the ticket. Like we can't find who owns it. What happens? My sister rings my dad and said, they're looking for someone at Ormo that like won lotto. Like you're always lucky. Did you win? And he was out and he's like, because my sister was living at my parents at the time because they were doing something, they were transitioning houses. And he's like, oh, just check my ticket. And because it was an unregistered ticket. She's checked it. Lo and behold, it's come up like first div winner. She's like, what the actual? Rung dad back and said, it's come up like first div win. He's like, oh my God, in shock. Lock the ticket in the safe. They have to go to the newsagents, blah, blah. Anyway, so here this missing ticket. And the funny story is 2 things that are really, well, there's a few things I want to take out of this. So he says to us, he goes, oh, this is what my dad's like. He goes, oh, we were just going to Bunnings. We ran into, Mum had to get some things at Coles. Then we were going to go and sit down and have a coffee before we went to Bunnings. I just thought I'll just run and put my lotto in. I run it through. The lady, just as the lady's running it through, I pull out my, like, what's the lot thing? Like your membership. And she goes, I pull it out and the lady goes, oh, I've always run it through. I've already run it through. Should I cancel it? Dad goes, no, I never cancel a ticket. So that's why it was unread. Because we're like, Dad, what the hell? Like, why didn't you register it? They would have known straight away and called you. And he goes, that's why I didn't register it, okay? So it was first div. Again, it was a couple of people, but it was still like a considerable amount. And it literally come from, he was just doing it for fun. Like he just enjoy. There was no desperation energy behind it, okay? So desperation repels. So often people go, I need to buy a lotto. Why don't I attract this? Like, why don't I get the money that I need? I really need this. They come from this energy of desperation. They come from this energy of this will fill my void. This will fix it. This will make everything okay. But desperation repels, because what happens if you look at your energy, if you look at your dominating energy, it's the feeling of lack. I don't have money. I don't have this. So I need this. This is going to help. Oh my God, please be me. So it comes from that energy of lack. Okay. So that's what I want you to have awareness around. Where is my energy coming from? If I'm sitting in lack, how can I pivot it to sit in abundance, which I've spoken to you about in the episode. The other thing that I want to share with you out of that story, a couple of things happened, okay? I had people say to me, got back to me, why'd that happen to him? Like, of course it happened to your parents. They don't need the money. Why couldn't it happen to me? I need the money. Like, I need it more than them. So I heard stories of a few people saying that, like, of course it happened. Some were joking because if they know my dad, everyone loves my dad. They're like, oh, of course it happened to Tony. He is one of the most positive people I know, honestly, like he's the most amazing, positive person. So many people say to me, I'm a better person for knowing your old man. He is so happy. He is so positive. Yes, he's gone through rough times. Yes, he's had ups and downs, but his dominating energy, his dominating vibration is one of prosperity, is one of positivity, is one of abundance, is one of gratitude, is one of he loves people, he loves life, he loves helping people. He is so freaking generous. Like my parents are so generous. No matter how much money they do or don't have, they've had times of having it, times of not having it, like we all have, right? They give, they help, they give to so many people. They want to help people. They love people. They're so generous at heart. And what they do doesn't come from a place of desperation. And my parents have always been authentic. If you know my dad, he's so authentic. He lives in authentic alignment. What you see is what you get. There is no ego attached to him, right? So it all comes back to authenticity. And the people that said those things, which is fine, like I have no judgment towards that. But in regards to that, if you're one of these people that say things like that, why does it happen to them? Why doesn't it happen to me? I need it. You are actually pushing away from you what you want instead of opening yourself up to receive and invite it in. And the moment that I kind of heard that was said, I'm like, well, that's why it doesn't happen for you, okay? If you have resentment towards other people, jealousy towards other people, if you look in that vibrational scale that Esther Hicks has, it is a lower vibrational frequency, okay? So if you're sitting in any of those feelings, have awareness and then tweak it. How can I bring my awareness back to a feeling of joy, back to a feeling of love, back to a feeling of gratitude? And how can I stay there longer than 68 seconds? Just keep staying there. That's why it's important to set your day up with rituals, to do things that bring you joy, to take care of your body. And I'm going to go into another episode. I'm going to wrap this up now around this is why I look after myself. This is why I take care of myself. This is why I want to encourage people to come in and move their body. I want to encourage people to come in and take exquisite care of themselves. I want to open you up to the woo, because why? Like, not just because you want to be connected spiritually, yes, that's important, but it helps you live your best life. Like, what if you have, and you do have, this inner navigational system, like this inner compass that can help you get what you want and can help you live life to the fullest, to live life with your heart and soul's desires? You can. You absolutely can. But that's why you need to take care of yourself, okay? So you feel good, which I'm going to dive into in the next episode. But I want to leave you with these two quotes that I read from Abraham Hicks, okay? It says, what you want will manifest from getting so aligned with your deepest desires that the steps to create them will unfold naturally. This is the power of clarity, alignment, and inspired action, okay? So what you want, let me read that to you again, will manifest from getting so aligned with your deepest desires. So get clear on what you want, ask for what you want, have the vision of what you want. You get so clear from that, you get in the receiving mode, and then what happens? The steps, the how-to, the steps, the people, the opportunities, the steps to create your desires, to align with your desires will unfold naturally without force. That's the power in clarity and alignment and inspired actions. And everything we're experiencing in our reality right now is a manifestation of the energies we're holding on to inside of ourselves, and anything we're uncomfortable or displeased with within our world is a reflection of something within our outer world is a reflection of something we're uncomfortable or displeased with within ourselves, okay? So your outer reality is a reflection of your inner reality. So I want to encourage you, let's raise the vibration of your inner reality, okay? I'm going to dive into more in that next episode, but be a learner. Be a learner. Get some of these books. Get the old school books. Start with Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill and Esther Hicks. Anything by Abraham Hicks. She is the best manifestation teacher in the world. As far as I'm concerned, she's amazing. Grab some of those books. Make yourself a learner, a reader. Be inspired. Be motivated. But know that you are worthy. At the end of the day, you are worthy of having every single thing that you want. Maybe start making yourself a dreams list. Maybe start writing 100 dreams. Go to town, big dreams, little dreams, just writing out all the things that your heart and soul desires. Start writing them out and get into that energy of, this is what I want. I'm worthy of having it. I hope that has helped you, my friends. I can't wait to have a chat with you in the next episode. I have to run. I've got Women's Circle tonight that I have to get in for, but I had to capture this episode as it was coming straight through to me this morning. And I will see you in the next episode, angels. So much light and love to all of you. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. Bye.